up guys, I'm Joe and this is a Bradford fence. All right, hey, so we're here on site here in Little Rock at this Chainlink job we just finished up. This is a commercial Chainlink. Over here behind me is a new manufacturing building that they're building. So they put this up here for a yard area and storage. Today I'm gonna go through some of the specifics of this job here, then some of the ins and outs of a chain link fence, and then the options that you have for a commercial chain link. So let's go check it out. All right, so as you can see, this is a fairly large job. This is 1,200 feet of fence, so it's essentially a big square, about 300 feet on each side. In chain link, the typical post spacing is every 10 feet, but on something like this, this took us 2 days to set the post and then another 2 days to run the fabric, do the top rail, and do all the ties. So all in all, something of this scale is about a 4-day project overall, working days. That also included us installing one large 24-foot cantilever gate. They, over the next year or two after they build their building, they're actually gonna remove this. So they wanted something that could be pulled easy. So we actually did a no-dig system on this. If you'd like to see more on what we did here with the no-dig post, then check out our other video where we go in depth on the no-dig system. This is, for the fence jargon or specifics, is a 11 gauge wire. So 11 gauge refers to the thickness of the wire, and I actually have a tag from off of there. You can see it's 11 gauge. Those are the specifics. 72 inches tall, and then a 2-inch K and T. So what does that mean? What's K and T? 2-inch refers to the width of this diamond. So from side to side is 2 inches across. And then the K and the T is a knuckle and a twist, which refers to how they finish off this chain link. So here is a twist, and then at the bottom is a knuckle. And fun fact, on a residential chain link, which is typically like 11.5 gauge, so it's a little bit smaller of a wire, and then it's typically a 4 or 5 foot, and then sometimes a 6 foot height. But a lot of times residential will be a knuckle to knuckle. So at the top, it'll also have a knuckle. So it's a little bit less obtrusive and not as sharp up here. But in a commercial setting, anything that's 6 foot or above typically does have the twist, and the twist usually goes toward the top just to be a deterrent of anybody climbing over that. So that's the actual chain link wire or fabric, as we would refer to it. And then the framework on this one is a 20 weight pipe. So you can go, on a residential side, you can go as low as a 0.047, which is the thickness of the pipe, up to a 40 weight pipe. So this 20 weight is kind of middle of the road. It's a very strong pipe, but not the heaviest that you can get, but is a good option for a strong foundation and a long lasting framework with both your post and your top rail. Yeah, and circling back to the wire or the fabric, we talked about residential being like 11.5. This is 11, which is kind of mid-grade. And then the heavy commercial is typically a 9 gauge, which is just a same pattern, but a thicker wire. And then sometimes in an industrial setting, there's even like 6 gauge and even super heavy. But the most common 3 are a 9 gauge being the typical heaviest, 11 gauge being in the middle, and 11.5 being the lightest or residential grade as far as your wire here. Okay, so here for what they were needing, this twist top was gonna be enough security, but another common thing that you see in a commercial setting is to have the barbed wire, or even in some cases of higher security, needing to have a razor wire. So with this one, it just has your typical loop caps with the top rail coming through and then just ends right here. If we were to have barbed wire, instead of having this loop cap, you would have a barb arm that comes up and then slots for 3 rows of barbed wire typically that run across the top, and then that just deters people from climbing over. And then if you did razor wire, it's similar. You have an arm coming up, typically 1 or 2 rows of barbed wire, and then that razor wire attached to the barbed wire at top. Then down below, we've got our typical tension wire. So this wire is pulled tight from end post to end post, and then it secures the bottom of this fence with the rings or hog rings that ties the chain link fabric to that tension wire. And then again at the post, they're tied off at the post as well, so it holds everything tight. And then up along the post, every 16 inches or so, you're tied in with our wire ties. Same thing across the top, keeps everything taut and tight, whether it's at the bottom or the top. Hey, thanks for checking out this chain link fence with us. I hope that was helpful. Make sure and like this video, it helps us out a ton, and subscribe to the channel for more fences just like this.